Introduction. In a world overflowing with dating advice and quick-fix attraction tips, most men overlook the quiet yet commanding power that truly draws women in. The brutal truth is that it's not flashy looks, expensive possessions, or even perfect charm that makes 97.8% of women find a man irresistible. It's the unshakable presence, self-control, and inner strength that come from living with Stoic principles. When a man masters his emotions, stands firm in his values, and radiates calm confidence no matter the chaos around him, he becomes magnetic on a level most men will never reach. This is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming a man who naturally commands respect and desire without trying too hard. 1. Emotional mastery is magnetic. Emotional mastery is one of the most magnetic traits a person can possess because it communicates stability, self-awareness, and quiet strength in a world where emotional volatility is common. At its core, emotional mastery is the ability to remain composed and centered regardless of external circumstances, to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, and to channel emotions in a way that supports both personal growth and harmonious relationships. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending not to care. It means understanding them deeply, managing them effectively, and expressing them in ways that build trust and respect. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate this kind of calm presence because it creates a sense of safety and reliability. In a heated discussion, for example, the emotionally mastered individual doesn't get dragged into petty arguments or raise their voice out of frustration. Instead, they listen, process, and respond with measured clarity. This composure signals confidence and self-control, which are inherently attractive. Moreover, emotional mastery fosters better decision-making because it reduces the clouding effect of fear, anger, or excitement, allowing choices to be made from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. It also strengthens empathy, since being in control of your own emotions frees mental space to genuinely understand and connect with others' perspectives. The magnetic power lies in the fact that when you're not easily swayed by external drama, you stand out as an anchor in the storm, someone others instinctively trust and gravitate toward. Over time, this ability influences not just how people perceive you, but also how they treat you. They're more likely to respect your boundaries, value your opinions, and seek your guidance. Emotional mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's built through consistent self-reflection, mindfulness practices, and the willingness to pause before responding. It involves recognizing triggers, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, and learning to detach your sense of worth from fleeting emotional states. The more you practice it, the more it becomes a natural part of your identity, influencing your tone of voice, your body language, and your overall energy. In social settings, it manifests as an effortless charisma. People may not even know exactly why they feel comfortable around you, but they'll sense it. In professional contexts, it translates into leadership, negotiation power, and the ability to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics without unnecessary conflict. In relationships, it allows for deeper intimacy and mutual respect, as you become a partner who can hold space for emotions without being consumed by them. Ultimately, emotional mastery is magnetic because it is rare, and rarity is valuable. While most people allow their moods to be dictated by external forces, the person who has mastered their emotional world moves through life with a quiet authority that draws others in. It's a signal of maturity, strength, and depth, a combination that is both inspiring and irresistible. 2. Confidence without arrogance. Confidence without arrogance is a powerful quality that inspires trust, respect, and admiration, allowing you to command attention without demanding it. True confidence is rooted in self-awareness. It's the calm, steady belief in your own abilities, values, and worth, without the need to belittle or overshadow others. Arrogance, by contrast, often stems from insecurity disguised as superiority. It seeks validation by comparing oneself to others and exaggerating self-importance. The difference lies in intention. Confident people uplift and encourage, while arrogant individuals diminish and dismiss. To cultivate confidence without crossing into arrogance, you must first develop competence. When you genuinely understand your craft, communicate clearly, and maintain a track record of reliability, your confidence becomes self-sustaining, not performative. Next, practice humility, not the false kind that masks pride, but the genuine openness to learn, adapt, and acknowledge when you don't know something. Confidence says, I believe in myself and I can figure this out. Arrogance says, I know everything and I can't be wrong. Listening is another key element. When you give others space to speak, and you show genuine interest in their ideas, you prove that you value their contributions, which fosters mutual respect. Your body language should match your mindset. Maintain good posture, steady eye contact, and a calm tone, but avoid dominating the room or interrupting. Confidence also means not needing to prove yourself constantly. The most self-assured individuals can accept criticism without defensiveness and share credit without hesitation. They don't fear others' success because they know it doesn't diminish their own. This mindset builds stronger relationships, as people feel safe and valued around you. A helpful mental shift is to focus on service rather than self-display. Ask yourself, how can I contribute here? Instead of, how can I look impressive? When your energy is directed toward creating value, people naturally perceive you as capable and grounded. Self-reflection is equally essential. Regularly check your motives, tone, and behavior to ensure your confidence is lifting others instead of pushing them down. Even in leadership, confidence without arrogance inspires loyalty. People follow you because they want to, not because they fear you. Finally, remember that life is a continuous journey of learning. The moment you think you've arrived at perfection is the moment you start slipping toward arrogance. Keep curiosity alive, welcome diverse perspectives, and embrace the fact that everyone you meet knows something you don't. By combining competence with humility, assurance with empathy, and strength with openness, you become the kind of person who earns respect effortlessly. Someone others admire not just for what you can do, but for who you are. This balance not only enhances your personal and professional success, but also leaves a lasting, positive impression that arrogance could never achieve. 3. Purpose-driven living. Living with purpose is about aligning your daily actions, decisions, and mindset with a deeper sense of meaning that goes beyond personal comfort or temporary pleasure. Purpose-driven living is not simply about chasing goals. It's about understanding why those goals matter in the first place. When you have a clear purpose, your life gains direction, focus, and resilience. Challenges stop being purely obstacles. They become opportunities to grow and reaffirm your commitment to your path. Without purpose, even success can feel hollow, but with it, even struggles can feel worthwhile. A purpose acts like a compass, guiding you when the road gets uncertain and helping you prioritize what truly matters over what merely demands attention. This mindset requires self-awareness. You must ask yourself hard questions about your values, passions, and the kind of impact you want to make. It's also important to remember that purpose is not static. It can evolve as you grow and your perspective changes. Living with purpose demands intentionality. You can't just drift through life and expect fulfillment. It means saying no to distractions and yes to actions that align with your core mission. It's about making choices today that your future self will thank you for, even if they require sacrifice now. Purpose-driven individuals often live with greater energy and contentment because they're anchored in something bigger than themselves. They don't merely exist. They contribute, inspire, and create. Whether your purpose is to raise a family with love, create art that stirs emotions, serve a community, or push the boundaries of science, the essence is the same. You are living for something meaningful. And the beauty of it is, purpose doesn't need to be grand in scale to be profound in impact. Even small, consistent act aligned with your mission ripple outward, influencing lives in ways you may never fully see. In a world full of distractions, the courage to live purposefully is a rare and powerful thing. It requires daily recommitment, humility to adjust course when needed, and the faith to believe that your contribution matters, even if the results aren't immediate. Ultimately, purpose-driven living transforms not just what you do, but who you are. It shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and ensures that when you look back on your life, you see a story that mattered, not just to you, but to others as well. It's the difference between merely surviving and truly living. By clarifying your purpose, aligning your actions with it, and refusing to be swayed by the noise of the world, you step into a life of meaning, fulfillment, and lasting impact. Every choice becomes part of a larger tapestry, one that tells a story of intentional living and a legacy worth leaving behind. 4. Unshakable boundaries. Unshakable boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being, allowing you to live with self-respect and purpose. They are not walls meant to isolate you, but rather gates that you consciously open or close depending on what aligns with your values, needs, and goals. Without boundaries, you risk becoming drained, resentful, and easily manipulated because you allow others to dictate your time, emotions, and priorities. Building unshakable boundaries starts with self-awareness, knowing your worth, recognizing what you stand for, and identifying what you will not tolerate. This clarity empowers you to communicate your needs firmly and respectfully, without guilt. Boundaries must be consistent. If you set them only when convenient or let people repeatedly cross them without consequence, you weaken their effectiveness. You also need to remember that saying no is not unkind. It is a form of self-respect and a necessary act to preserve your energy for things and people that matter most. At times, people may push back, test, or even resent your boundaries, especially if they benefited from you having none before. That is why unshakable boundaries require courage, being willing to risk disapproval in order to protect your peace. They also require emotional discipline, as you must resist the urge to over-explain or justify them. A clear no is enough. Over time, your boundaries act as a filter, allowing in relationships, opportunities, and environments that truly respect and honor you, while naturally repelling those that drain or harm you. This process is not about controlling others. It is about controlling what you allow in your life. The beauty of unshakable boundaries is that they foster deeper, healthier connections because they are rooted in authenticity. When you honor your limits, you teach others how to treat you, and you inspire them to honor their own limits as well. This creates mutual respect and trust, which are the foundations of any strong relationship. In work, unshakable boundaries prevent burnout and help you maintain balance by clearly defining when you are available and what responsibilities you will accept. In personal life, they preserve your self-identity, ensuring that you do not lose yourself in the needs or expectations of others. Developing these boundaries requires patience and practice, as you may have to unlearn patterns of people-pleasing or overextending yourself. But the more you reinforce them, the stronger they become, and the less likely you are to compromise them out of fear or pressure. Ultimately, unshakable boundaries are an act of self-love. They remind you that your time, energy, and peace are not infinite resources, and they deserve to be guarded with the same vigilance you protect any other valuable asset. When you commit to them fully, you stand tall in your truth, immune to manipulation, and free to live a life that is aligned, intentional, and deeply fulfilling. 5. Controlled reactions. Controlled reactions are a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, resilience, and effective communication. They refer to your ability to manage how you respond to situations, especially those that provoke strong emotions, so that your actions align with your values, goals, and long-term interests rather than being dictated by fleeting impulses. When you practice controlled reactions, you create a pause between stimulus and response, allowing your rational mind to guide you instead of letting your emotions take the wheel. This is not about suppressing feelings or pretending not to care. It is about channeling your emotional energy in a constructive way. Life is full of triggers, criticism, unfair treatment, unexpected changes, or other people's mistakes that can tempt you into reacting impulsively. But every time you choose to respond calmly instead of lashing out or shutting down, you strengthen your self-control, preserve your dignity, and often influence the outcome more positively. For example, in a heated argument, reacting with anger may escalate the conflict, whereas a measured tone and thoughtful words can open the door to resolution. In professional environments, controlled reactions help you maintain credibility and earn respect. In personal relationships, they foster trust and emotional safety. Developing the skill requires self-awareness, mindfulness, and patience. Practicing deep breathing, counting to 10, or mentally reframing the situation can create the mental space needed to respond wisely. Over time, you'll notice that situations which once threw you off balance no longer have the same power over you. Controlled reactions turn challenges into opportunities to display strength, leadership, and maturity. They are not about being emotionless, but about being the master, not the servant, of your emotions. In a world where people often equate speed with strength, remember that true power lies in thoughtful restraint. By making this a habit, you protect your peace, influence others more effectively, and create outcomes that reflect your best self, even in the most testing moments. 6. Inner peace over external validation. Inner peace over external validation is one of the most liberating shifts a person can make in life. At its core, this lesson is about learning to source your sense of worth and contentment from within rather than depending on approval, praise, or recognition from others. External validation, while pleasant in the moment, is fleeting, fragile, and often conditional. It ties your self-esteem to the ever-changing opinions and moods of other people. Inner peace, on the other hand, is steady, self-sustaining, and rooted in your own clarity about who you are and what truly matters to you. The more you rely on external validation, the more you surrender your emotional stability to forces you can't control. The more you cultivate inner peace, the more resilient, confident, and free you become. The pursuit of validation often traps people in cycles of performance and comparison. You may find yourself doing things not because they align with your values, but because they will earn you likes, compliments, or applause. This can lead to living inauthentically, wearing masks to meet others' expectations while neglecting your true needs. Inner peace demands a different approach. It requires you to find your own standard for success, happiness, and self-worth. It means asking yourself, if no one else could see or approve of what I'm doing, would I still do it? This question strips away the noise of public opinion and forces you to focus on what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. Cultivating inner peace involves practices such as mindfulness, self-reflection, and self-compassion. Mindfulness helps you detach from the anxious chase for approval, grounding you in the present moment. Self-reflection allows you to understand your motivations and identify areas where you've been living for others instead of yourself. Self-compassion teaches you to be gentle with yourself when you make mistakes or face criticism, reducing the need for others to validate your worth. Over time, these practices strengthen your emotional independence. You become less reactive to praise or criticism because neither defines you. It's also important to understand that inner peace doesn't mean rejecting all forms of feedback or connection. Human beings are social creatures, and appreciation from others can be encouraging. The difference lies in whether that feedback is a bonus or a necessity. When you have inner peace, compliments feel nice but aren't essential to your happiness. Criticism may sting, but it doesn't shatter you. You live anchored in your values rather than tossed about by the tides of others' opinions. In the end, choosing inner peace over external validation is an act of self-respect. It's a decision to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being over the endless chase for approval. It's about being able to sit quietly with yourself and feel whole without needing anyone confirm it. When you master this, you gain a kind of freedom that cannot be taken away because it comes from a place no one else can touch, within yourself. 7. Strength through adversity. Strength through adversity is one of the most powerful lessons life offers because it teaches that true resilience is not built in a moment of comfort, but in the storms that threaten to break us. Adversity has a way of stripping away illusions, revealing both our deepest vulnerabilities and our hidden reserves of courage. It is in hardship that we discover the difference between what we think we need and what we actually require to survive and grow. Struggles force us to adapt, to think creatively, and to act with determination when the easiest option would be to give up. In those moments, we are faced with a choice: to see adversity as an enemy that crushes us, or as a teacher that shapes us. History is full of individuals who turn their trials into triumphs, proving that hardship can be a forge that tempers the steel of character. Strength gained through adversity is not merely physical endurance, but mental fortitude, the ability to keep moving forward despite fear, pain, or uncertainty. It is the art of maintaining dignity when circumstances strip away comforts, of holding to values when they are tested, and of finding meaning even in suffering. Often, adversity redefines our priorities, showing us what truly matters, while peeling away distractions and shallow pursuits. The process is rarely pleasant. It can be exhausting, isolating, and filled with doubt. Yet, those who endure emerge with a deeper understanding of themselves and a greater empathy for others. Strength through adversity is also cumulative. Each challenge faced and overcome builds a foundation for the next. This is why those who weather many storms often carry a quiet confidence. They know from experience that no difficulty lasts forever, and that the human spirit is capable of far more than we often believe. By embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than resisting them with bitterness, we begin to see that adversity is not the opposite of success, but often its catalyst. True strength is not the absence of hardship, but the ability to stand tall in its midst, learning, adapting, and refusing to surrender. In the end, adversity does not define us by the pain it causes, but by the transformation it brings. The scars we carry are not symbols of defeat, but proof of battles fought and won. They remind us that while we cannot always choose the trials we face, we can choose the mindset with which we confront them. And in that choice, in the decision to face life's difficulties with courage, humility, and perseverance, we find a strength that no comfort can teach and no failure can erase. That is the enduring gift of adversity. It breaks us open only to rebuild a stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing whatever comes next.